Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another life-changing episode of the Daily English Podcast, where you don't just learn English, you grow through it. If you've been feeling tired, unmotivated, or like time is slipping through your hands, this episode is for you. Today, we'll explore a quiet truth, something we all do, something we don't often talk about, but something that silently steals our time, our dreams, and our joy. We are wasting time, not always with laziness or distractions, sometimes with habits that look responsible, but are quietly holding us back, worrying, complaining, trying too hard to please others, fearing failure, and yes, being a perfectionist. These things don't always look dangerous, but they are, because they eat up the hours, the energy, and the space in your life that could be used for growth, love, learning, and real progress. This episode will help you understand each of these 6 time wasters. Hear powerful, real-life stories behind them, reflect on your own habits, and most importantly, learn how to take your time back. We'll go deep, we'll go slow, and we'll speak in simple, clear English so you can understand, feel, and grow all at once. Are you ready? Let's begin with the first one. Worrying what others think. Let me ask you a question. How many things have you not done because of what someone else might think? Have you ever held back an idea, stayed quiet in a meeting, worn something safer, said something softer, stayed in a place that didn't feel right, all because of what others might say? You're not alone. Many people live not their life, but a version of life shaped by fear. Fear of judgment, fear of looking silly, fear of not being accepted. There's a story I want to share with you. It's about a girl named Alina. She loved drawing since she was a child. Her notebooks were filled with sketches, characters, animals, landscapes, ideas from her heart. Her dream was to become an artist, but people around her laughed. Drawing won't make money. You'll never survive in that field. That's not a real job. And slowly, her dream faded. She studied something else, took a job she didn't care about, and every day she worked, she felt a quiet ache inside her, like something was missing. Years passed, and one day she was asked to design a small flyer for her office event. She hesitated, but she did it, and everyone loved it. That one moment reminded her her gift was still alive. She didn't quit everything and become famous overnight, but she started drawing again. After work, at night, on weekends, she shared online, took small commissions, and slowly she found her way back. The lesson? You don't need to please the crowd. You need to listen to the voice inside every minute. You spend worrying about other people's opinions is a minute you could spend building your own dreams. People will talk anyway. Let them. But don't let them write your story. Complaining about everything. We all do it. The traffic is bad. The boss is annoying. The weather is too hot. The food is too salty. Life isn't fair. But here's a truth we often forget. Complaining is a thief. It steals your energy, your joy, and your ability to change. Let me tell you about Joe. He worked in customer service. Every day he'd come home tired and angry. This job sucks. People are rude. No one respects me. He repeated these words to his friends, to his family, to himself, but nothing changed, because nothing he said was an action. It was just noise. One day a friend gave him a challenge. Don't complain for 1 week. Not even once. If something's wrong, fix it. If you can't fix it, accept it. It sounded impossible. But Joe tried. On the first day, he bit his tongue 12 times. On the second, he caught himself before shouting. On the third, he paused and took deep breaths. By day 5, something amazing happened. He started noticing solutions instead of problems. He started seeing small good things. A kind word, a funny customer, a free coffee. He didn't change the job, but he changed himself. The lesson: you can't complain your way into a better life, but you can act your way into one. Energy spent complaining is energy lost. Use it to change or let it go. Trying to please everyone. Have you ever said yes when you wanted to say no? Have you ever smiled, agreed, or helped just to avoid disappointing someone? That's the habit of people-pleasing. And it might look kind on the outside, but inside, it can quietly destroy your peace. Let me tell you the story of Amina. Amina was the nice girl. She helped everyone, at work, at home, in her community. She never said no. She listened, stayed late, gave money she didn't have, and carried everyone's emotional weight. People praised her. You're so kind. You're always there. We can count on you. But Amina was tired. She was burned out. Her own dreams were waiting. Her own needs were silent. Her own joy was missing. One day, her health gave out. She fainted at work. Her body said what her voice couldn't. I'm exhausted. During recovery, her doctor asked her, "Who takes care of you?" She had no answer. That question changed everything. She started saying no. Not always, but when she needed to. She started putting limits. She started choosing rest. And slowly she learned that kindness doesn't mean sacrifice. It means balance. The lesson? You can be a good person and still say no. You can love others and still protect your time. You don't need to carry every burden to prove your worth. Time is wasted when we live only for others. True love includes yourself too. Being a perfectionist. Perfection looks beautiful from the outside. Clean lines, no mistakes, always polished, always right. But underneath, there's fear, pressure, delay, and constant dissatisfaction. Let me share the story of Haruto. Haruto wanted to start a YouTube channel. He planned for months, bought equipment, wrote scripts, practiced his voice, designed logos, watched tutorials, but he never posted. Not even one video. Every time he said, "It's not ready. It's not good enough. What if people don't like it?" Years passed. One day, a friend posted a short video. It wasn't perfect, but it went viral. People loved the honesty. Haruto realized, while he waited for perfect, others were growing through progress. So he made a promise. Done is better than perfect. His first video wasn't great, but it was real. And it started a journey. Now, his channel has thousands of followers, not because it's flawless, but because it's consistent, human, and improving. The lesson? Perfection is not your friend. It's your fear dressed in clean clothes. Perfection delays dreams. Progress builds them. Don't wait until everything is perfect. Start now. Learn on the way. Real people connect with real effort, not flawless image. Repeating the same mistake. There's a difference between failing and repeating failure. Everyone makes mistakes, but time is truly wasted when we repeat them. Not because we're weak, but because we didn't stop to learn. This is the story of Raphael. Raphael was always in financial trouble. Every few months, he'd borrow money. He'd say, "This time I'll manage better." But every time, he spent without tracking, bought things he didn't need, ignored advice, ignored his own stress, and then borrowed again. One day, he couldn't get help anymore. No one would lend. No card would swipe. He sat alone, angry and scared. That night, he looked at all his past receipts. He made a list, and for the first time, he saw the pattern. It wasn't bad luck. It was blind habits. So he started small, wrote down every expense, waited 3 days before buying anything new, listened to finance podcasts on his bus rides. Within 6 months, he had savings. Within 1 year, he paid off half his debt. The lesson? Mistakes are not the enemy, but repeating them without reflection is. If something keeps happening, pause, reflect, adjust. Don't be afraid to face the truth. It will save you more time than pretending nothing happened. Fearing failure. This one is the silent killer of dreams. Fear of failure stops you before you begin. It whispers, "What if you fall?" It shows you all the things that could go wrong, and none of the things that could go right. This is the story of Sophia. She wanted to open a bakery. She loved baking since childhood. People adored her cakes. She even won local contests, but she worked in an office. Safe job, regular income, family approval. Whenever she thought of starting her bakery, fear took over. What if it fails? What if no one comes? What if I lose money? Years went by. Her joy shrank. Her energy faded. One weekend, she attended a workshop. The speaker asked everyone, "What would you do if you couldn't fail?" Her heart shouted, "I'd bake!" That night she created an Instagram page, just pictures of cakes. Then orders came, small ones, then bigger, then a pop-up shop. Then, her own place. It wasn't easy. She did fail. A lot. But each failure taught her something. Now, she still makes mistakes, but she no longer fears them. She learns, she grows, she rises. The lesson? Failure is not the end. It's the beginning of becoming wiser, braver, and stronger. Time is wasted not when you fall, but when you never try. Take your time back. Now you've heard the 6 ways we often waste time. Not with distractions, not with laziness, but with quiet, invisible habits that feel normal, even responsible, even necessary. But here's the truth. Your time is sacred. It's the only thing you never get back. And most people don't lose it in big moments. They lose it in small daily patterns that steal a little bit. Every day. Let's pause and reflect on what we've learned. You waste time when you worry about what others think, because no matter how hard you try, you can't control their thoughts. They'll judge. They'll assume. They'll forget, but your life is yours. You don't need their permission to speak, to create, to live. What matters is not their voice, but yours. You waste time when you complain about everything, because complaining creates noise, not solutions. It trains your brain to find problems, not possibilities. It makes you feel like a victim when you could be a creator. You don't have to pretend everything is perfect, but you can choose to act instead of echo. You can use that energy to build something better. You waste time when you try to please everyone. Because no matter how much you give, someone will still want more. Someone will still misunderstand you. And someone will still be unhappy. But that's not your job. Your job is to live with truth, with kindness, yes, with love, always, but not with self-destruction. The world doesn't need you to be everything, to everyone. It needs you to be you. You waste time when you chase perfection, because perfection doesn't exist. And even if it did, it wouldn't connect. Real people need real voices, real effort, real learning. Every flaw in your journey is a lesson, a connection, a proof that you're growing. Don't wait for the perfect moment. This moment is enough. Start messy. Grow through the process. You waste time when you repeat the same mistakes because time is a teacher, but only if you listen. Pain has a voice. Patterns have meaning. And the most powerful thing you can do is pause, look at your habits and ask, what is this trying to teach me? It's okay to fall. It's not okay to pretend you didn't. Learn, adjust, rise. You waste time when you fear failure because failure is not your enemy. It's your classroom. It's your test. It's your mirror. Everything you admire in others came with failure. Every success began with a risk. Every breakthrough stood on a pile of setbacks. You don't need to be fearless. You need to be willing. Willing to try. Willing to fall. Willing to keep going. You don't need more hours. You need more presence. More courage to say no. More clarity on what matters. More honesty with yourself, because you can waste years pleasing, fearing, delaying, or you can take back your time today. The woman who reclaimed her life. There was a woman named Lonnie. She was kind, responsible, quiet, and tired. She gave her best to others, but left nothing for herself. She worked, she helped, she gave, and she quietly watched her dreams grow dusty. One day, her daughter asked her, "Mom, what did you want to be when you were my age?" Lonnie smiled. "A writer," she said, "but life got busy." Her daughter looked her in the eye and said, "Maybe life is still waiting." That night, Lonnie wrote for the first time in years, not for a job, not for approval, just for herself. She started with 10 minutes a day. That became 30. Then 1 hour. Years later, her short story won an award. Not because it was perfect, but because it was true. Because it was finally written. Lonnie didn't need more time. She needed to stop wasting the time she had. Now ask yourself, slowly, kindly, honestly, where does my time go? What do I say yes to that drains me? What dream have I delayed out of fear? What habit quietly eats my energy? What would I do differently? If I believed my time was valuable, because it is. You have the power to choose. Today is not too late. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to change everything overnight. You just need to start choosing differently. Choose. Honesty over pleasing. Action over complaining. Progress over perfection. Courage over fear. Choose yourself. Not in a selfish way, but in a real, alive, human way. Because when you value your time, you start valuing your life. And when you value your life, you inspire others to do the same. My friend, your time matters. Not just the hours on the clock, but the energy in your heart, the focus in your mind, the joy in your breath. Don't waste it on fear. Don't waste it on noise. Don't waste it trying to be someone else. You are enough to begin. And the world is waiting for you. Not the perfect version, but the real one. Thank you for listening. Thank you for growing. And thank you for choosing to take your time back. We'll see you next time on Daily English Podcast, where your voice, your learning, and your growth matter. Until then, be kind to your time, because it's the most honest reflection of your life.